The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
It's not hard to confuse old Beggsy, but guess what, Conor Garland? You've befuddled me, bud.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs. That guy is Kyle Bhawan, and this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com and win $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. The Vancouver Canucks got some good news on a hump day. Man, oh man, a lot of good things happening on hump day. Always a good day. Conor Garland expected to return to the lineup. And Kyle, guess what? Even though Conor Garland missed the last 3 games for this team on their road trip there, he still leads this team in points. He is the best goddamn forward on this team right now. And it really has me looking back at what I think is the most confusing trade in Canucks history. And I'm not saying this from the point of view like, what was Jim Benning doing here? Although that's certainly a big part of it. But usually trades are either a big win or a big loss for either team, or maybe it's somewhere in the middle and you don't care. But this one, the Canucks clearly lost the trade, but it ended up giving them their best forward 4 years after the deal. I mean, Kyle, make this make sense to me, man. I'm confused about how to feel about the trade, how to feel about Conor Garland, how to feel about Dylan Gunther. Let's talk about it, buddy. How you doing? How you feeling? Happy hump day.
Yeah, and I guess happy Conor Garland Day. Like, it's happy Diwali Day at Rogers Arena, but man, oh man, I'm so excited to watch Conor Garland play. And again, just doing like a revisionist material, looking back at the film, and it's just quite evident, man. Like, Conor Garland has been such a good Vancouver Canuck for a very long time, and he's at his best right now. You know what I'm saying? And I forgot about that point, how you're like, oh yeah, he's the Canucks' best forward right now. And it's like, oh yeah, we completely lost that trade. This is actually so confusing. And there will never be a time and place where we do win this trade unless the Canucks find playoff success with Conor Garland, right? But that shouldn't take away from the fact that crazy, smallest guy in hockey, but there was a lot of good that came out of that trade. I can't believe we're here. The most annoying trade in Canucks history, the most confusing trade in Canucks history. But I don't think we can say this is the worst trade in Canucks history anymore. For real. No,
we can't do that. And it was maybe one of the candidates before. I don't think it was ever the worst trade in Canucks history, but it was up there, especially when this new management regime ended up buying out Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And Kyle, part of it too is you can look at the numbers for Dylan Gunther and you can look at the numbers for Conor Garland. But Kyle, you and I know it, watching this Vancouver Canucks team day in and day out, that Conor Garland's impact goes beyond just the stat sheet, right? The goals and the assists and the points. He's an absolute dog out there. Even though he is statistically the smallest winger in the NHL, at least the smallest winger who's a full-timer in the NHL. An absolute dog on pucks. And oh yeah, now he's leveled up even more this season. He was the team's #1 penalty killer before he got injured. He'll probably be back there tonight. You look peepee this morning for the Vancouver Canucks out power play 1, power play 2. Conor Garland, though, is back on the first power play unit. He's the guy that's looked best with Elias Pettersson. He's gotten the most out of Elias Pettersson so far. So, I mean, man, oh man, I know Dylan Gunther's a great player. He's a younger player. The Canucks should not have made this trade. But Canuck fans, I think, are right to feel confused about this deal because Conor Garland, we knew he was a good player at the time of the deal, but I think he's turned into something that I think 99% of fans didn't expect in terms of his all-around two-way ability and his ability to impact the game outside of the stat sheet.
And yeah, his ability to get the most out of our players and wake up a player. Because yeah, you got to give him a lot of credit for waking up Elias Pettersson. And before Conor Garland was ever a Vancouver Canuck, Trevor, I don't know if you can Google this. I'm going to get you to Google a couple things, actually. But first off, there was a moment in his Arizona career, I think it might have been his first year or his second year, where he scores a hat trick against the Oilers. Or he scores like an overtime goal off his face. Something to that degree, because I remember watching that game and watching the whole game and being so impressed by Conor Garland. And you don't even have to be a student of hockey to appreciate him because he's so noticeable based on how small he is. He's clearly the smallest guy on the ice, game in and game out. No, for real. And then he's got all the skill and the tenacity in the world. And it kind of makes him somewhat of a special player to watch or a fun player to watch, but ultimately just a good player to watch. Like if my homies are coming to a Canuck game, like I'm going with my homie Randy today, he doesn't watch a lot of hockey. I'm going to be like, yo, watch number 8. That dude is something. He's something. So not credit Jim Benning, but I'm pretty grateful today that Conor Garland is a Vancouver Canuck. Now, in a better world, if a good GM knows that Conor Garland is available way back when, like 3 years ago, you're giving up like 2 second-round picks for him, right? Or like you're making one of those types of trades for a top 6 player as opposed to like, giving up a first-round pick and taking on OEL salary, right? Like that's how you want to get Conor Garland here. But end of the day, we're Canucks fans. We're used to hell. We're used to mediocrity. We're used to stupidity, and that's what we got there. But the stupidity gave us Conor Garland.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's mind-boggling. Jim Benning doesn't deserve a lot of credit because he was not the centerpiece of that deal. The centerpiece of that deal was Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He's a number 1 defenseman, and he's going to help our team. And yeah, that didn't work out so well for the Vancouver Canucks.
My God, Trevor, man, you're pissing me off, man, because I just remember getting that notification at work, and I'm just like so confused because they spent so much time the year before trying to get OEL, and they lost some talent like Tyler Toffoli and Chris Tanev because they were just like busy doing their homework on OEL. They didn't get the job done then, but they still got it like way later. And it's like, when do you ever see that actually come through in the world of sport where a team's trying to acquire a player for like a year plus? And it's like, yo, that deal is for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. It's just, and I know I think he's always been a good defenseman, but he was nowhere close to being a defenseman worth more than $5 million, let alone, what was he getting paid? 8.125, or was it like?
Yeah, it was 8.25, and they retained a bit, so it was it was about 7.5 here in Vancouver. Yeah, it was never worth it. It was never worth it. But again, it gave us Conor Garland, who, I mean, again, he's the best forward on this team right now. He's been one of the best forwards on this team, obviously, over the past couple of seasons. And I'm just grateful that Conor Garland is a Vancouver Canuck. Kyle, I wanted to maybe bring in some other candidates for the most confusing trades in Canucks history. And there's really only one trade. And this is going way back in the time machine. This is where Kyle's gonna turn it off or mute me. There's one way back in the time machine, back in 1980, where the Canucks traded away Rick Vave and Bill Gerlago for Tyler Williams and Jerry Butler. And the reason I bring it up is because Rick Vave went on to score I think it was a 3-time 50-goal scorer with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But Tiger Williams was a good player for the Canucks, a pain in the ass to play against. And he helped the Canucks in 1982 when they went to the Cup Finals. So that's probably the other comparable trade in my mind. Of course, there's some other confusing ones in there as well. But, some of the confusing ones too, like, when we traded Corey Schneider, that was a holy shit moment when you get Corey Schneider for the 9th overall pick. But that one ended up working out for the Canucks, right? This one I would say has not worked out for the Canucks, but it has because they have their best forward, Kyle.
And, we got to live in the moment. It's 2025. We read a lot of Deepak Chopra here on Locked On Canucks, right? It's all about the moment, Trevor. The past is last, and the future is what? Exactly. And right now, the better player is Conor Garland when it comes to Conor Garland versus Dylan Gunther.
That's a bold take, man. I mean, hey, if you want to look at just the raw stat, Dylan Gunther, 5 goals, 12 points in 13 games this season. Conor Garland's got 11 points in 11 games. It's a better point per game average right there, Kyle. Well, no, Dylan Gunther's a sick player, but he's also not killing penalties and impacting the game to a two-way level like Conor Garland is. So that's another consideration too.
But he's 70. I know he's 7 years younger, but we're living in the moment. Okay, we're living in the moment. We're just saying who's better right now. And Trevor, if you want to do me a favor, because I do want to run Canucksitology, just make us feel good. Like I don't know what Conor Garland's fancy stats tell you in comparison to again Dylan Gunther's fancy stats. Like I'm just curious to see if he's in fact like a tier above Dylan Gunther, because dude, I'm just saying right now, Conor Garland does so much. He does so much, and it's not like I watch a ton of Utah hockey club games or Mammoth games and whatnot. I know Dylan Gunther, great skater, just cerebral offensive player. The shot is just unreal, lethal. I've heard the podcast. Some people compare him to a Brett Hall. Okay, that release. No, it's crazy. The guy's so good, but right now, I'm just saying, Conor Garland is showcasing skill night in and night out when he's not hurt. But he never gets hurt. Also, let's like, this guy's a sturdy, tough son of a gun. All in all, though, he's looking good. And just look at this comment. This is making me think. Tyler saying Garland plays with the heart of 3 grown full men. Like, I get this version of the Vancouver Canucks. Yeah, they need skill and they need guys like Dylan Gunther. Don't get me wrong, but like, we're trying to keep Quinn Hughes here. And like, the stuff you do away from the rink, or just the energy that you bring, even on the rink with his tenacity, his ability to never give up, like the leadership qualities that he has, like, dude, I've watched a lot of hockey. He like, it's just so obvious how important this guy is if you have him on your team. Like, any team would be lucky to get Conor Garland, for real. And at his cap hit moving forward, and the fact that he's American, you know, if the Canucks need to pull the plug, they could get a lot for a guy like that. I'm just saying, he's a good player. He's a really, really good player.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, I think that workman-like attitude kind of is backed up by the stats too, right? Like, if you look at the NHL Edge data, like Dylan Gunther's got a harder shot. He's a faster skater. But Conor Garland actually skates more per 60. Like, he's flying around the ice. That tells me he's working harder than Dylan Gunther, even if he doesn't have the natural ability. And he's obviously got some natural ability as well. Like, we see the plays that this guy makes in tight with the puck. He's really dogged on the puck. He's hard to knock off the puck. Look, I'm just happy that he's on my hockey team. He's a great player. Again, miscast as a third line. I know we talked about the luxury of having Conor Garland on the third line, and it was a luxury. But let's not make a mistake. This is a top line player in the NHL today, in my eyes. And again, I think the two-way impact is just something that I didn't really see coming. I didn't see Conor Garland necessarily becoming a penalty killer in the NHL. Not just a penalty killer, but the best penalty killing forward on this team. They rely on him more than anybody, any other forward on this team. When they're shorthanded. And look, the Canucks penalty kill is, you know, they weren't great before he got injured, but they've taken a hit since he got injured. And they'll be looking for him to help shore that up tonight, along with helping to keep Elias Pettersson going, along with helping the power play score more goals. I mean, man, oh man, like Conor Garland he's providing bang for the buck right now for the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah. And again, he's a part of the most confusing trade in Canucks history. Like, it just, and the fact that it was still pretty recent, like what, 4.5 years ago, like, and
a little over 4 years ago, summer of 2021.
Yeah, just confusing times. Again, Canucks fans go through the most. The fact that they made that trade when they had 1 more year left on a bunch of old dudes that were making a ton of money is ridiculous. The fact that the Canucks buy him out, and yeah, they find immediate success with the salary relief that they got from the OEL buyout, but OEL like he's a Stanley Cup champion right after. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like. And then he goes to Toronto and he gets a $4 million deal because he's still a good defenseman. It's just like, it never ends, man. But it also never ends because Conor Garland's a good player, and he's enabling us to have this conversation. Again, this is a confusing trade to hold on to a certain amount of or a type of feeling with. Anyway, so Locked On Canucks, giving you the Canucks every day. Hit the like button, support the show. Boom, bam. Happy wives, happy lives. Trevor, who we shouting out, and what are we talking about on the other side?
All right. Well, on the other side, let's get to some news and notes. I want to touch on some former Canucks. A couple really noteworthy things going on with former Canucks last night. I do want to touch on the new look power play as well. Some of the news and notes from practice, other updates on injured players, and a little bit about everyone in the NHL being mid. That's all coming up next on Locked On Canucks. Oh, yeah, baby. Before we get back to the program, let's shout out our friends over at Rugiet. All right, let's be real. Making excuses doesn't solve anything. We've all heard them before, like it's just stress, or I'm tired, or it happens to everybody sometimes. But when it comes to performance, sometimes your body needs just a little extra support, and that's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves, baby. And man, Kyle Ballard and myself, both 32 years old, getting to that age where we got to use services like Rugiet. And again, it's 100% confidential online. Kyle, what are you making that face, man? You telling me you never popped a little blue pill before?
No, or a Rugiet pill? No. Are you talking about like my hair loss or something? Are you taking a shot? It's 2025. You got to let me crack the joke about myself first before you dig deep. You can't just make fun of my bald spot.
Yeah, nothing to do with your bald spot, man. No need to show your insecurities on the air, but it's all good, man. With Rugiet, you just connect with a board-certified doctor, 100% online, no awkward waiting rooms, and no in-person appointments. It's about confidence, connection, and getting back to moments that matter. So visit rugiet.com/LockedOnNHL to get 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com/LockedOnNHL. And don't forget to use our code LockedOnNHL so they know that we send you. Rugiet, stop making excuses and start making moves, baby.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. My name's Kyle Bhawan. That right there is the second best dad in the world. Again, the Diwali night tonight at Rogers Arena. I hope there's some free samosas in and around the venue. Probably are going to be because, brown people like to feed people. They do their thing. They're good neighbors. Trevor, how you celebrating the Diwali at your household?
Actually, my kids both brought home Diwali artwork from school. So my daughter had a little candle, and we lit the candle and explained about the the celebration of light for Diwali. So that's about it, man.
Awesome, man. That's beautiful, man. That's 2025, and that's Canada, and that's why you're the second best dad in the world. Anyways, comments. Calvin saying our PP needs the blue pill. Our power play needs the blue pill. Let's open it up. I feel like me and you never talk about the power play, and I feel like we don't do that because even though it's not sexy, sometimes they just score goals. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like mid, but again, it doesn't always look cohesive. All in all, though, I feel as if the best is yet to come for that power play. I'm not giving up hope that Pettersson and Hughes can't figure it out. Again, we're seeing Pettersson play better than he did last year. Hopefully Hughes gets healthy and is more efficient, more instinctual, and those two, figure this out and make this a fun power play, one that scores goals, but also doesn't like kill momentum when they don't score goals on a power play, right? Like you I want these guys to make it look good and make it look fun and make it look offensive. And I got hope still, Trevor.
Yeah, here's a good stat for Canucks fans to maybe make you feel better about the power play. Because right now we're ranked 18th overall in the NHL. It's been a bit up and down. Sometimes they look very threatening. Sometimes they struggle to get the puck in the zone. I think that's really their main sticking point. I think Elias Pettersson has looked more confident on the power play, which has held. But so far this season, the Canucks rank, let's just crunch the numbers, 8th overall in terms of expected goals for at 5-on-4 play, despite the fact that they rank 18th overall in actual success in the power play. So, look, I think the power play has done a good job, and typically I think they will get some more of those bounces going their way. I think there maybe needs to be some more shots on net. Like sometimes it's one of the most common things you scream at the TV: shoot the puck when they're on the power play. I think that kind of holds true to the Vancouver Canucks to an extent, but I like what I've been seeing for the Vancouver Canucks, and I feel confident that more power play goals are going to go in if they keep playing this way. And it does help that you have Conor Garland coming back and being up there on the top power play unit because he's great at moving the puck.
Yeah. And I feel as if just going back to like Hughes and Pettersson, Trevor, again, it's interesting. Like maybe me and you are, maybe I'm just too emotional to really like nerd out with you when it comes to hockey because the Canucks have just been like so middling and I'm all over the place. All in all, though, we haven't really hammered out a conversation about some Canucks fans thinking Quinn Hughes doesn't pass Elias Pettersson the puck enough. Again, X is a dark spot. That's why you never talk to your ex. You never go on Twitter. Like always got people complaining. I'm one of them, and I don't know. Like I don't think that's the truth. I don't think Quinn Hughes is a puck hog. I've even seen that being used a little bit on X, but I do think that is where this team finds its mojo on the power play. When Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson are getting close to touching the puck equally on a power play. That's just me.
Yeah. And that needs to be the case, right? And I know Quinn Hughes just got back to the lineup in the last game and worked out. Canucks got a power play goal, right? So, yeah, I mean, look, I think it's trending in the right direction. I think it's going to keep trending in the right direction now that Conor Garland's back in the lineup. And Kyle, I just got to say, the Canucks, they aren't missing JT Miller on the power play, are they? You know what? The Rangers power play, you want me to tell you where it ranks in the NHL? Do we have the drum roll button over there, Kyle? Let's see. Wait for it. Oh, yeah, baby. The Rangers power play is dead last in the NHL, shooting at 11.1% so far this season. And I wanted to bring that up too because the New York Rangers last night, they lost their 6th game on home ice this season. They have yet to win on home ice.
Oh, wow.
They have 1 point on home ice. It came in an overtime loss to the San Jose Sharks. They have been shut out on home ice in 4 of 6 games. And JT Miller after the game had the funny quote that it's not cute anymore in terms of the Rangers' lack of success on home ice. And Kyle, I just got to say, after I know you were the biggest JT Miller fan of Vancouver, you had the JT Miller tattoo, you got it removed from your right ass cheek. Do you still miss JT Miller?
I'm trying to get over it. And again, this is when I know you didn't celebrate the Wally right because you wouldn't be bringing up JT Miller on a random Wednesday in November and his struggles on the power play. You just again, you got to forgive and forget, Trevor, and you're not forgetting. You're holding on and you're comparing his success to ours, and it doesn't connect, Trevor. Let's just let go. But hey, if you bring up JT Miller, I mean, again, for years on this power play, especially over the last 20 months, I'm not saying this is the reason why Elias Pettersson has struggled, but again, Quinn Hughes and JT Miller, they shared the puck a lot. You know, it was those two. Then it was either Besser or Pettersson or DeBrusque or Kuzma. All I'm trying to say is I think the magic is going to be found when Pettersson and Hughes just play off each other. Even earlier this season when Evander Kane was on PP1, he was touching the puck more than Elias Pettersson on the power play. And I know people are hearing this oh, Elias Pettersson doesn't deserve to touch the puck. He's not working hard. That's why he's not touching the puck. No, they're just that's just stupid. That's stupid logic. They got to get Elias the puck more. And I understand why some fans are just a little frustrated with Quinn when it comes to him not, is it deferring or deferring to Pettersson more?
Yeah. Yep, no, that's right. And Kyle, your comment about me holding on. Come on, I'm a Canucks fan. Of course I hold on to things, man. You're crazy to think that I wouldn't. And we were at the rumblings last year, right? Apparently those power play meetings were completely dysfunctional because of a certain 2 guys in the room. And you could kind of see it on the ice a little bit as well. But yeah, I think Elias Pettersson now a key to the Vancouver Canucks having a good power play. And they're trending in the right direction. Kyle, a couple other Canuck forwards trending in the right direction as well. Let's get to that and wrap up here on Locked On Canucks. All right, before we wrap up the show, let's shout out our friends over at FanDuel, baby. If you're an everyday or an occasional listener, you know the deal. FanDuel is a place you got to go if you want to get in on the action, whether it's NBA, whether it's NFL, whether it's the NHL. And if you missed the start of the game and want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score the next goal to third period comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. I think Vancouver Canucks tonight, again, home against the Chicago Blackhawks. The over is looking like a bit more valuable line. Over 6.5 goals in this game is plus 112. Kevin Lankin is net for the Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver Canucks to win by more than a goal is plus 148 on that line on FanDuel. So right now, FanDuel, if you're betting on FanDuel, you can get $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Boom, bam. Okay, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks, aka reading your comments here at the Don't Doze Art Lab and at Trevor's daughter's art gallery. Okay, real talk. Your daughter's gonna be rich, man. Straight up. She can actually replace some of the art that was stolen in Paris. That's how good she is, man. Straight up. Yeah, this comment, this comment goes to NGK. I can't show it on the screen because he swore. It's okay though. Like, hey, if you want to use the F word, use the P word, aka use puck, okay? Then we can show it on screen. He's saying how the puck or why the puck would anyone want Pettersson to touch the puck as much or more than Quinn Hughes on the power play. Okay, for me, it's like, and then he also said, last year, Quinn did so much work over the last 20 months, 18 months. Quinn did so much work to get the puck to Pettersson only for Pettersson to double clutch it, waste an opportunity, right? Alluding to some frustration and just a lack of trust, which I understand. But at the end of the day, though, Pettersson is better this year than he was last year. Like, that's obvious. I don't care that he doesn't have 100 points already. Like, I don't. Like, it's just clear to me that he is actually playing better. And I think feeding into that and not waiting for him to like ultimately come back is the way to go about it. So like just keep feeding, like how we asked Foot to play Pettersson way more. Now it's like give Pettersson the puck way more. It's just simple math, man. Just simple math.
Well, I think the big thing for me, Kyle, is when Hughes and Pettersson are sharing the puck equally or close to equally on the power play, and they're doing it successfully, it creates more problems for the other teams. If Quinn Hughes is the only guy with the puck, and I know he's damn near impossible to shut down, but it just gives the PK something else to think about if Pettersson has the puck and is wheeling and dealing as well on the power play. And look, he's not going to wheel and deal like Quinn Hughes, but he can be a threat on the power play. He's shown that so far this season. So again, I think it makes sense for both of them to have the puck somewhat equal amounts because you want to create some confusion for the other team out there. And I think so far it's worked to an extent this season. Again, I'm want to see more of Quinn Hughes back in the lineup on the power play. I want to see the back with Conor Garland as well. I think even you could probably split the puck equally between Garland, Hughes, and Pettersson, to be honest, and really create some confusion and have Besser and DeBrusk as you guys to kind of clean up. So, I got some intriguing options up there. And who would have thought, man, Conor Garland never really a PP1 guy in his career, but here he is, and he's looked great in that spot so far this season.
Great is that's kind of an aggressive thing to say. Great, good, good. That's just me. Until the power play looks consistent and sexy and fluid, I'm not going to use the word great. Anyways, comments. Okay, I saw this comment from Andrew. It's way up here. Shout out to Andrew saying Garland, Pettersson, and Woodler. Okay. Kiefer Sherwood.
Edler's in your dreams.
Yeah, there you go. Garland, Pettersson, and Kiefer Sherwood. That's the line they have to make. Andrew also saying hi, Rick, in the comments because Rick Hepner is back. Can you put before we talk about Garland, Sherwood, and Pettersson being the best line in Canucks history? Can you run the round of applause for Rick coming back? Rick, man, we missed you, man. The show's never been the same, Trevor.
Yeah, Rick Hepner, one of the original everydayers here on Locked On Canucks, and appreciate all the everydayers here on Locked On Canucks. A couple quick updates before we get out of here as well.
Hold up. So can you just touch on that, Sherwood? I don't want to ignore Andrew. Sherwood,
the comment. Yeah, I have my hesitations about putting them all in the same line. I wonder what it does to the rest of the Canucks lineup. Those are the three Canuck point leaders this season, right? It's Garland, it's Pettersson, and it's Kiefer Sherwood. I do feel like I think Garland, Pettersson got to stick together, but putting all three of them on one line, especially when like Sherwood and Garland are primarily right wingers and neither of them play on their offside that often, I think you separate them. And Pettersson and Sherwood haven't had. I know people want to see it work because Sherwood's such a dog, right? And he just makes it happen out there. But statistically, they haven't been great when they've been on the ice together. So I think you keep Garland with Pettersson. I think you play Sherwood further down the lineup, and I think that's going to be better for the Canucks in the long run, even though it's probably the less sexy thing to do.
Yeah, and Trevor, again, I think you're leaning into being more 32 and a half years old than me because I still feel sexy and I only want sexy, okay? Straight up. So put Sherwood, Garland, and Pettersson together and let's get it cooking, okay? Anyways, Trevor, carry on. Teddy Blueger coming back soon?
Yeah, Teddy Blueger skated at practice today. Was not in a non-contact jersey, although it wasn't a full practice at morning skate. Reports that he will rejoin practice soon in full. The Canucks will practice in full on Friday. Your boy Beggsy will be there. Jonathan Lecker-Mackey also expected soon, back soon at practice. So I'll have the scoop for you on that one on Friday. I also wanted to touch on Nikita Zadorov quick. Nikita Zadorov, I think I miss him more than I miss JT Miller, to be honest, man. And maybe I'm just a butthurt Canucks fan, but
Wait, hold up. Might as well run the segment.
I don't wanna say goodbye.
Kyle Bhawan, what would I do without you, buddy? That's Kyle Bhawan, ladies and gentlemen, on Locked On Canucks. Yes, the Cam Neely, former Canuck of the week. Connor, bring it up in a day where we're talking about the weirdest trades in Canucks history. The Cam Neely, former Canuck of the week, for me, is Nikita Zadorov. And I'm not even really looking back at the full week necessarily, but I'm looking at what he did last night. And, people are going to be pissed off that he, manhandled an 18-year-old kid who was 12 years old during the outbreak of the COVID pandemic, which still blows my mind. And yeah, a bit of a weird thing to do, but hey, it's the NHL after all. It's not time to babysit. And what really I loved about Zadorov was after the game. First of all, he was asked about, why he went after Schaefer and being involved in the skirmish. And his answer was that I looked at my PIMs from last year and I figured I needed to get those up. So just Nikita Zadorov hasn't lost it, man. He's got the swagger. And then after that, of course, Islanders fans flooding his DMs with angry messages like you effing, blah, blah, blah. I can't even say that on Locked On Canucks. Here. Anyways, lots of bad stuff in Nikita Zadorov's DMs. He reposted it and told Islanders fans to go to the rink to cheer for their team because it was a library in there last night.
I like it. Well, here's my theory about Nikita Zadorov. The Canucks next year trade for him. Okay. That makes no sense because they have a lot of left-handed defensemen. They probably don't need him. But I think this team misses Nikita Zadorov. Oh, you know what, Trevor? Here's my more realistic theory about Nikita Zadorov. You listening? Okay. If he sticks around, he's our version of Thomas Muller. And what I mean by that, no. Hold on.
No, I see it, man. Ambassador for the city. Like, he's always out there, right? A vocal guy, not scared of the media, not scared of the spotlight. He'd be out there supporting, local events. I completely see that, man. I get where you're coming from.
And just always having the right punchlines and whatnot. You know what I'm trying to say? And, maybe I would say this. The Canucks didn't have Marcus Pettersson on their team. And Pettersson's a better defensive defenseman. I know that. But if they didn't have Marcus Pettersson on the team, maybe this year they go and trade for Nikita Zadorov. Because he's a plug-and-play guy. And, I don't know. Like, that physicality and stuff, the stuff that he brings, the swagger that he brings, I mean, that's why we love Kiefer Sherwood too, right? Like, those two would be a menace, like menaces together. And it would give us, something like somewhat more of an identity, right? Of like what the Canucks are. Like, if you have like pieces of shit like that on your team, it's, I don't know. It makes Vancouver harder to play against. And I also think it would make like Rogers Arena more deadlier too. So all in all, again, big Nikita Zadorov fans here. And we think the Canucks won the Dylan Gunther for Conor Garland trade. This is what happens when you smoke that West Coast Bias, baby. Locked On Canucks, man. 7-7. 7-7 feels good, man. Lucky number 7, man.
There we go. I love smoking the West Coast bias, and I love getting to the commenters. So let's wrap up with 2 before you wrap up here on Locked On Canucks. Again, Rick Hepner, he's been with us since 2023 when we started here on Locked On Canucks. He's just noticed now that Trevor upgrades his public Wi-Fi. And yes, I had a lot of Wi-Fi issues in the early days of Locked On Canucks. But Rick, in case you missed it, I left my old job and became a full-time Canucks reporter. And what do you know? I have better Wi-Fi at home than I ever did at my old job. So figure that one out. And then for those on YouTube, Kyle runs this little banner here that says, hit the like button. If there's 12 likes, we're going to have to buy matching 2011 Mazda 3s. We got 14 likes. So hit the like button, subscribe to the show. It helps us out a lot. And Kyle, I'm going to have to trade in my 2016 Mazda 3 for a 2011 Mazda 3. So thanks for running that, bud. Come on.
No, it's, again, there's me and you met in 2011, and Mazda 3s are reliable cars. I already know it.
Yeah,
I already know it. So
that's poetic, man. That's nice.
And you can carry along carry a lot in the truck as well, the trunk as well. And I just feel like we always support each other. So it's all Deepak Chopra energy right there.
You're a reliable coworker, Kyle. I appreciate you for that. Before you go, what would you be putting in the trunk of your Mazda 3?
I'm a picnic type of guy, I'm not going to lie, like a picnic basket, nice blanket. I like to carry a little sanitizer in there too, just in case my girlfriend's hands get a little dirt. Fellas, like you guys want to make a move on a girl first? No, straight up, great dating advice. Okay, if you're on Tinder, you match with the shorty, you're going on your first date. After you take her out for dinner and you pay for the bill. When you're going for a walk back to the car, pull out the sanitizer from your pocket. Okay, then she's gonna what? No, then she's gonna get.
That's nice. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never done that before because I'm a greasy guy, but it's good advice.
Yeah, because then she's gonna women are naturally, they want to be protected, right? Like it's like you know what I'm trying to say? The instincts should start kicking in. Like, oh wow, he's so safe. He's got the sanitizer. He's thinking about me. She'll start. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I'm ahead of it, man. I'm 18 steps ahead, baby. Anyways, Locked On Canucks, man. Peace.